Green flag goes and the dummy grid sets off in pursuit of the first race victory of this 2025 second round in IAME Series Asia. A very tough field of races in Senior X30, 31 karts in total. It really is a magnificent grid of superb racers, and it's going to be a very competitive race. Kai Burke and Toby Gale on the front row of the grid from UKPO in the PR1 Explorer alongside Zadia Vroikal. Then Jaden Pope alongside Cooper Kanjanapas and Zachary Boyce. Then Megat Zuckanain and Paco Miguel Sarmiento. 19th on the starting grid for Karin Kaur. She'll be there on the grid on the 10th row alongside Ryan Gunavardena. Then Harit Zarelo alongside Thomas George. Zhao Xian is alongside the Philippines racer Melvin Shane for the Stratos Racing Team. Then Andy Buret and Seth Waldron, the two CRG Thailand racers, along with Radosek Aimochan, and then Ben Nagayan, Scott Wood, and Ahmed Zaidi bin Masri, with Laksh Manish Bafna taking his place at the tail end of the field. So 31 senior and master drivers, 3 masters, 28 seniors, although technically one of those seniors is also competing in master on double duty. But let's see what the Birilat front row will cook up going into this first race of the day in senior. Will it be the Australia Fair or the Thai flag that gets to the first corner first? Let's find out! And it's a great start, wheel to wheel. Between the two Birilats, they almost bang wheels, but it's a run to the first corner for Kai Burke. He leads beautifully, and there goes UKPO in the Explorer to split the Birilats into second position. It's up on 2 wheels. Oh, contact! UKPO drifts wide. So too does the Birilat of Toby Gale. So a big start that's gone dramatically wrong already. And UKPO in the Explorer finds himself in the midfield on the first lap. My goodness, what a tough race it's going to be from here on out. But for Kai Burke, it's absolute heaven sent. He leads the way, and I think that's Austin Gale that's broken into second position. So the 231 Austin Gale has driven through the carnage and found himself in P2. Well, it's been a crazy start to this race in the front end of the field, and already Kai Burke's got an advantage. But that is Austin Gale, who has worked his way through the melee, and into second position he finds himself now. So Kai Burke is your leader. It's Austin Gale in second position. Then in third, it is Jaden Pope, Kimi Chan, Feros Fesrafosi, from Cooperfish, Toby Gale, Ian Marwa, Noah Natapanon, Zadia Vroikal, and UKPO down in 11th. So it looks like it's not going to be straightforward in any of the 3 classes this weekend. Certainly on the first lap of each heat, there's been a proper shuffle of the deck. So now it comes down to who's got the determination as UKPO dives in on the inside of Nawin Natapanon to move up another place in the Explorer. And it's side by side as they come off the turn. That is a chance on the inside of Feros Fesrafosi. No, you don't, says the Malaysian. Chops across on Cooperfish. I think that might actually have been Nawin Natapanon as Zadia Vroikal is going wheel to wheel with Ayan Marwa. Under the bridge, over the top of the crest, and it looks good for the leader, but look how quickly Austin Gale is eating up the road as there's more lightning bolts in the distance. Very tough racing going on here in Malaysia, but the way that wind is picking up, we could end up with wet tyres for Heat 2. Kai Burke leads Austin Gale. Jaden Pope is closing in. And it's getting to be a very interesting race battle. It looks like there's some raindrops on the circuit. I think I could see some raindrops on one of the parasols on the circuit itself. I think we've got rain out on the circuit. That is definitely going to spice things up. Everybody in senior and master, of course, is on slick tyres. So now it's going to come down to instinct out there. So Kai Burke is your leader. The thunder roars over the top of the circuit. And suddenly, this racetrack is looking very different. Parts of the circuit are wet, parts of the circuit are dry, and the tyres are looking very shiny and glistening as water goes onto them. Time to go on your instincts now. Drivers are really racing for dear life as now Austin Gale has eaten up a massive amount of road to Kai Burke in the lead. Third for Jaden Pope. Now, Pope is the one who's got the advantage here. 22 years of age, plenty of experience behind the wheel. He'll be best positioned to try and do something about the 2 men up front. But it's Burke, Gale and Pope, and now it's only 0.4 of a second between them. Up on the sharp end of the field, another move on the inside from Austin Gale. He gets through there side by side, and he can't finish the move. So Austin Gale slides into the braking zone. Kai Burke is sliding. They're really struggling in the braking zones now as water is coming down on the far side. Drivers are slipping off. We've got one cut into the barriers up at turn 4. So trying to pick out, it was one of the Tony carts that went in, and it's 3-1 for the lead. Jaden Pope side by side with Austin Gale. And Pope is going to try and make the move for the lead on the inside, and he's there! Oh my goodness! Jaden Pope rolls up his sleeve and cowabungas his way to the lead. Magnificent from Jaden Pope. Now they're battling over second place as Burke goes on the inside of Gale. And here comes Kimi Chan round the far side. No way is he going to pull that off on the outside line. Kimi Chan absolutely full guns blazing, trying to finish it off as Toby Gale now goes with him in 5th place. My goodness, Jaden Pope has rocketed his way to the lead. And now the battle for second. It's getting slippy out there as Kimi Chan has got his move on Kai Burke. It's definitely starting to get slippery up at turn 2 and 3. One of the fastest parts of the course. Getting the timing on the braking is very critical here. Not so easy to slow the cart down. Jaden Pope is disappearing up front. He's absolutely cavalry away. Second place for Austin Gale. Can't quite stay with Jaden Pope in these conditions. And so the Australian in his first ever race in the Infinity IAME Series Asia. Oh, we've got a couple of carts going wide. A few drivers slipping off in the wet, dry conditions. But the leaders are now struggling to stay with the race leader himself, Jaden Pope, who is dancing away with the fairies up front. Amazing stuff. Second place for Gale. Kai Burke in 3rd, no longer, because Kimi Chan's got through, as Zachary Boyce appears to have dropped out of the race. He was one of the first to really come a cropper in the conditions on the far side. Oh, big spin! That's Toby Gale! Toby Gale has lost it through turn 3, and Toby Gale is out of this race. He lost it in a big way up on the run to turn 3. The backhead stepped out. He walks away from the cart. He's okay, but Austin Gale pirouettes. Toby Gale pirouettes out of this race up at turn 3. That is a really scary part of the circuit to lose it when the back end swaps around the front. And that shows you how slippery it is up at the top end of the course. And don't forget, all of these drivers are on slick tyres with the rain starting to come down on the far side of the course. So this really is racing on the edge now as Jaden Pope puts all those years of experience to good measure. 1.2 seconds away from Austin Gale in 2nd, and Gale has now got pressure from Kai Burke, who's finally got used to the conditions, and now Kai Burke is going after Austin Gale. This is where Toby lost it a lap ago. The back end trying to overtake the front on both carts as they go through. So Austin Gale and Kai Burke very close together in the fight for second position down to the braking zone for 5, and they're fairly evenly matched. Behind them is Kimi Chan. Yuka Po has worked his way back beautifully to P5. Then it's Ferris Vesrafosi and Zadiev Raikal, the teammates. Ayan Marwa, Cooper Fish, and Wadapong Amwachan. Kai Burke trying to get on the inside of Austin Gale as Jaden Pope is starting to lose that lead. He's losing that position now. The gap was over 1.5 seconds, and now Gale and Burke are being very smart cookies here, working their way back to the race lead. So Jaden Pope out on his own. But Gale and Burke are now bedded into the condition and they're working in unison. They are eating up the road to Jaden Pope. Pope had 1.5 seconds on them. Now it's going to be 0.5 seconds as they come across the line. Look at that, 0.4 seconds. A lap ago, it was over 1 second. So Jaden Pope is really starting to lose ground now. There's nothing in it as they go through turn 4. So Austin Gale and Kai Burke are now going to get another crack at the race lead here. On the inside, there's the move. Into the lead goes Austin Gale. He gets back in front, and it looks as though Kai Burke may get his run too. And it looks as though Jaden Pope's got an issue. The Nassau panel is flapping around. He's dropping out. He's out. Jaden Pope is out. Oh my goodness. Jaden Pope, the former race leader, is out of this race. Disaster for Jaden Pope. He had this race in the palm of his hand by over 1 second, and now he's on the sidelines. Oh, poor Jaden Pope. He drove like an absolute master in the first 5 laps of this race, And now it's all gone wrong. So with 2 laps to go, it's Austin Gale back in the lead again from Kai Burke and Kimi Chan. Yuka Po is now in P4, ahead of Fesra Fosi and Zadia Braikal. Now there's going to be a big challenge from Kimi Chan as he tries to get away from Yuka Po, and this is the battle further back. This is Zadia Braikal trying to shake off Ayan Marwa and Feroz Fesra Fosi. He needs to get past his teammate first and foremost. But there's a great squabble of the decks, and on the inside line, trying to get through side by side, that is Cooper Fish, the Australian. He gets his move on the inside line. There can't be any more overtakes because we've still got Jaden Pope's cart to the sidelines there, but the green flags fly on the following bend. So they're able to get back to race conditions again. But the race lead is not over yet. Kai Burke is getting back on terms with Austin Gale, and he's got just over a lap to try and get back ahead of him. This race has had so many peaks and troughs, and it's not even the final. This is only the first heat of the weekend. Into the final lap then goes Austin Gale with Kai Burke all over him, and Yuka Po is taking on Kimi Chan. He's going to dance past him. Into third position goes the Explorer, and the lead is going to be absolutely on it now. Kai Burke has got big pressure on his shoulders to get ahead of Austin Gale. Gale is hugging the inside line. They're side by side for the victory. Still, Kai Burke is trying to get ahead of Austin Gale. These were the 2 men on the original front row of the grid, and now they're back to the front. Can Kai Burke drive around the outside of Austin Gale? He'll tuck back for the switch. Here comes Yuka Po in the Explorer. He's caught them up. Now all bets are off down to the far side of the course. They've got to tiptoe their way through the bridge turn. Here goes Yuka Po round the far side. Kimi Chan is in there. 4 drivers in it as they go over the bridge. Over the top of the crest, who's going to get to the braking zone? Kimi Chan trying to dance around the outside of the Explorer at the back of the train. Is there one more sting in the tail? The Explorer tries to get past the Birilla, and Austin Gale will reach the line first. Oh, what a race. Austin Gale from Kai Burke, Yuka Po and Kimi Chan. What a race. Oh, contact over the line. Contact over the line. 2 carts come together as they cross the line. That is Karin Carr locking together with Megat Zulkarnain. The 2 of them crash over the finish line. And Karin Carr is only just able to scramble out of her Tony Kart chassis. What a dramatic race. One of the most dramatic I have ever seen in Infinity IAME Series Asia. Certainly the most dramatic opening heat to the weekend that we've seen for years. Oh my goodness, what a race. I cannot believe the way this race has had so many twists and turns. It's like a Disney fairy tale, the way it's had so many plot twists. Absolutely incredible. Austin Gale finishes a 1/10 of a second in front of Kai Burke, with Yuka Po and Kimi Chan less than half a second back. What an opener to the weekend. And what a crazy race. Austin Gale, Kai Burke, Yuka Po and Kimi Chan in the top 4. Feroz Fesra Fosi and Cooper Fish are millimetres away from each other at the line. And in the top 10, there's only 7/10 between Zadia Braikal, 8th for Ayan Marwa, Wadapong Amwichan and Miguel Quinones. Then Ethan Cito. These 2 collided over the line, Megat Zulkarnain and Karin Carr. Then Noe Natapanon, Paco Miguel Sarmiento, Ryan Gunavardena, Clifford Kanjanapis, TJ George, Harith O, the leading master in 19th, ahead of Andy Barrett, Seth Waldron, Melvin Shane, Ben Nagayan, Zhao Shayan, Wadasak Imwichan, and then Lakshmanish Pafna ahead of Scott Wood and Ahmad Zaidi bin Masri. Then we have the retirements, Jaden Pope, Toby Gale and Zachary Boyce in the most dramatic opening race to a weekend I have seen for years. Absolutely amazing from the senior and masters. There's a tiny pause now before the juniors get back underway for the second rotation. But boy, have we kick-started things in mad, crazy style here at LYL. And now that we've got a bit of a pause, the teams are now going to have to start thinking, will we need slicks or will we need wets? The next few minutes will be critical to decide.